China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, CBC. What is China-Pakistan Economic Corridor? China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, CEC, is a massive bilateral project to improve infrastructure within Pakistan for better trade with China and to further integrate the countries of South Asia. It is part of the larger Belt and Road Initiative, BRI, to improve connectivity, trade, communication, and cooperation between the countries of Eurasia announced by China in 2013. Why is CPC a problem for India? Welcome to GeoZone Media. The channel is about histories, mysteries, and news around the world. The project was launched on April 20, 2015, when Chinese President Xi Jinping and Pakistani Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif signed 51 agreements and memorandums of understanding valued at $46 billion. The goal of the CPC is both to transform Pakistan's economy by modernizing its road, rail, air, and energy transportation systems, and to connect the deep-sea Pakistani ports of Gwadar and Karachi to the Xinjiang Uyghur Autonomous Region in China and beyond by overland routes. Xinjiang borders the countries of Mongolia, Russia, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Afghanistan, Pakistan, and India, and the ancient Silk Road ran through its territory. This aims to reduce the time and cost of transporting goods and energy, such as natural gas, to China by circumventing the Strait of Malacca in the South China Sea. The initiative was also set to open several special economic zones, modeled on similar zones in China that offer incentives for investment and are intended to spur rapid economic growth. The announcement of joint space and satellite initiatives between Pakistan and China, spurred by the CDC, followed in 2016. By the end of the 2010s, the program had achieved a number of successes for Pakistan, particularly in terms of infrastructure. Hundreds of miles of highways and railways had been completed. Pakistan's capacity for electric power generation had also increased dramatically. Although renewable energy made up only a fraction of the new energy projects, the country's first solar power plant was inaugurated in May 2015. The Orange Line metro train system in Lahore, launched in October 2020 and the first of its kind in the country, was the most lauded urban project to come out of the early CPC program. But the CEC initiatives proved to be a significant burden on Pakistan's already strained balance of payments. 5 years into the program, debt owed to China made up more than 1/4 of Pakistan's total debt as it struggled to make its external payments. The economic impact of the global COVID-19 pandemic also slowed progress on CPC projects, exacerbated Pakistan's economic crisis, and left China hesitant to grant leniency on debt payments. Although the project gave a boost to job creation in Pakistan, promises that it would bolster Pakistan's industrial sector and increase exports remained largely unrealized into the early 2020s. And even though the CPC had expanded energy infrastructure, the costs for fossil fuel and upgrading an aging power grid led to continued power shortages and failures throughout the country. Furthermore, some construction, especially in the province of Balochistan, faced setbacks from violence by local militants who were opposed to the CPC projects in their area. Belt and Road Initiative, BRI, Chinese-led massive infrastructure investment project aimed at improving connectivity, trade, and communication across Eurasia, Latin America, and Africa. Among the infrastructure projects it has supported are airports, ports, power plants, bridges, railways, roads, and telecommunications networks. Whereas China emphasizes that the BRI aims to enhance economic connections and collaborations in the targeted regions, many in the West view it as a strategy to expand China's sphere of economic and political influence around the globe. BRI infrastructure projects connect China with different parts of the world, by land with regions such as Southeast, South, and Central Asia, as well as Europe, and by sea with coastal areas, including Southeast and South Asia, the Middle East, and Eastern Africa. Major projects that have been developed under the BRI include the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, CEC, the China-Mongolia, Russia Economic Corridor, and the New Eurasia Land Bridge. More than 140 countries, including several members of the European Union, have signed on to the BRI. China has lent more than $1 trillion to developing countries and has become one of the largest creditors to developing countries. Why is CPC a problem for India? China is planning to extend its controversial CPC project to regional countries, including Afghanistan. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman Zhao Lijian today said that China is having discussions with third parties, including Afghanistan, on the extension of CPC. The two sides are having consultations through diplomatic channels. India has repeatedly registered its protests over CPC, the flagship project of China's Belt and Road Initiative, BRI, saying it is in violation of its sovereignty as it passes through Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, POK, Indian territory illegally occupied by Pakistan. Disregarding India's protests and sovereignty concerns, China has been defending the $60 billion CPC project, saying it is an economic project not aimed at any third country. Experts said, China has been claiming its sovereignty at so many places including South China Sea, East China Sea, Taiwan Strait, etc., but it very conveniently ignores India's sovereignty concerns. Kindly subscribe our GeoZone Media channel for more information. Thank you.